I request distinguished guest to kindly go through the webinar guidelines and please adhere to it. So question and answer session will be in the end. Please type in your questions in the chat window so that I can request the speaker to revert back post PPT. So friends, past webinars we're talking about, we have done 8 sessions. So sessions we had was staying connected digitally with Mr. Paresh Mishra. Session 2, man and machine safety in times of lockdown by myself. Influencer marketing by Mr. Ashwin Dange. Creative Web post COVID-19. That was Mr. Rajiv Jalnapurkar. Improve revenues and brand presence with merchandising by Mr. Dimant Bakshi. Bureau of Indian Standards for Amusement Parks, Water Parks and IACs by Mr. Pradeep Sharma. Rebooting our indoor amusement centers by Mr. Shreyas Menon. And last, FRP mold and molding by Mr. Chaitanya Shah. So far, we have completed 8 successful sessions and on various subjects, crossing over 2000 man hours of training and an assorted set of skilled speakers. Fellow colleagues, in today's session, the subject we have touched upon. Before that, I have a message from the leaders. So I'll just play in the video. This from none other than Mr. N.D. Rana. A man, I say the most experienced person in the industry so far. His experience, if we count upon, might be on an average much more higher than our age. So well-experienced person, the first person to bring in amusement industry into India way back in early 80s, I suppose. So just a message from Mr. N.D. Rana.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Rana, N.D. Rana from Saya Amusement. As it was requested by Mr. Anuj, Chairman Training, I'm just sharing my views. I think we also have 3 parks. And what I feel that first we must think about survival, because the way it's spreading out so fast, I think it may continue up to September or December. And I don't think, even I don't feel that we should also send our people to our park, because the safety is very important in your life. Jaan hai to jahan hai, that is very important. Second thing, once we solve our problem for first 4 5 months, then we should think about a revival of our park, how to bring people in, what are the new things we can do in the industry. If I share my experience, when first I went to Disneyland in 70s, that time they were like India, adding more rides, concentrating on rides only. Now they have totally converted into theme park. Now all ride manufacturers also should think about giving a theme ride with some good theme. As you can see that Mr. Malpani has already started one theme show in Shirdi. Even Akshardham, Delhi, since is opening since 2005, its attendance is still today 65 lakhs per year. And that is also not religious crowd. They are all people are coming to see Indian culture show, animatronics and all different show. So, and also same way, park owner also should concentrate on theme shows only, not only putting a same monotonous and same similar rides. And also a FEC center also should think about bringing video games with more our culture, with Ramayana, Mahabharata, and all different stories where people would love to bring their children to take you to show your show. We started in Gujarat, Adarsh Balak Complex in all schools. You'll be surprised, there is a big crowd in school. If you get a good program and give it to your education department, There are lakhs of children they can divert to your park during your off season. So this is the right time to start rethinking, refurbishing, and also try to improve yourself. Main thing important is sanitize yourself. Whatever things we have a bad habit, spend more time with your family. Try to understand your children and family. And at last, wish you all best of luck for this critical time. And whatever way, whether we like it or not, we have to go through this process. And wish you all best of luck. Thank you.
So dear friends, so that was the message from Mr. Andy Rana, who is the founder member of IRP. And as I told you, the experience he has, so he has shared his views on it. I hope the message was very loud and clear to us that we have to stay safe. That's the first point. So we'll continue with the webinar. So today's session, we're talking about shape your destiny. For the set subject, I visualize a person, devoted learner, an active leader, and an enthusiastic teacher. He has been an old friend of mine, and we have been sharing the post of chairman training committee since its inception. Either he takes over it or I take over it. So alternately since inception, he's none other than the very spirited Mr. Rajan Shah. He's a founder member of board of IRP. He's on board of directors. He's ex-president and the current chairman of nomination and advisory committee for IRP. He's also on board for IAPA for 3 years and is a member of IAPA Asia Pacific M&S subcommittees. By occupation, he is the managing director of Arihant Industrial Corporation Limited, the first company to bring in water slides in India and the largest manufacturer with projects in over 60 countries. And primarily, he started manufacturing children's playground equipment way back in 1982. And Arihant also operates in its own water park by the name of Great Escape in Maharashtra. And may I request Mr. Rajan Shah to join in. Rajan bhai, over to you.
Yeah. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can. Rajan bhai, please continue.
Yeah, thank you, Anuj. And thank you, IP, for giving me this opportunity. And friends, let me tell you that I'm not a professional speaker. I'm also like one of you. And I have attended some seminars, I've read some books, and I like to share with friends. So I started sharing it. And you can call me as an accidental speaker, because one of the industry speaker heard some 15 years back and he said, why don't you give a talk in to my office staff. So that's how it began. And I started working on it and improvising it with every session that I did around. So thank you, IP, for giving the opportunity. Thank you, Anuj.
Most welcome, sir. It's all our pleasure to have you with us.
1 second. There's some technical issues. Yeah. So friends, let me first tell you the benefit of what I'm going to talk about in next 1 year. This will help you in being successful. It will help in improving interpersonal relationship, both at home as well as in office. It will improve the speed of your personal growth. You will better utilize your resources like money and time. You'll have a lot of peace of mind. And to get this benefit, I think there is only one thing that needs to be done, which we all will try today, and that is changing our mindset. Progress and mindset has a very good correlation. So let me first take you through that how this mindset change helps and what is the importance of change. when you ask, there is a research which was done, and they tried to understand why people don't change. And that research said that 20 people do not know how to change. They want to change, but they don't know how. And 80% people don't know why they should change. So they believe that I don't have to change. This is a dangerous slot to be in. And that's a big chunk. 80% of us, knowingly or unknowingly, we do not want to change. We want others around us to change. So that's, I think, a big correction that needs to be done. And somebody had said very nicely that if you are able to change, like if a stone is soft, is able to change its form, you create an idol out of it. उससे हम भगवान की मूर्ति बनाते हैं. और जो पत्थर बहुत कड़क है, दिमाग से कड़क है, वो पत्थर को हम स्टेप्स बनाते हैं जिसके ऊपर लोग चल चल के जाते हैं. So that how powerful it is between the power of change, between the soft mindset and a hard mindset. Most people, if you see, we want new results, but we want to continue with the same way, the way we were working yesterday. And somewhere I learned a very nice, simple anecdote which said that अगर हम सब्जी बनाते हैं घर में या चाय बनाते हैं, and if it is not come out well, अगर उसी तरह से हम prepare करेंगे दोबारा next day, तो वही taste आने वाला है. That means somewhere something has to change. If we want better results, our thinking, our mindset has to change. ये change के ऊपर there is a very nice video clipping which I had picked up from somewhere which I liked. And in this digital age, some of you may have seen it, but it's still worth it seeing it again, rebrushing it. Just have a look at this small video. The power of change. So that means change, as you saw, is going to be a very painful process. And one more thing I learned from somewhere, that change is very well connected with pleasure and pain. If you feel that this change is going to give me too much of benefits and too much of pleasure once I do it, the change becomes easier. And if you find it's going to be a pain, then it takes a lot of time. So when we talk of change, and if someone smokes and he wants to change, but if he feels that it's a painful process, he will never be able to give up his smoking. But the day he feels that this change is going to give me a better life, a healthy life, and he derives pleasure out of it, it will be very easy for him to leave that. I just gave an example of cigarette, but it applies to all the change in the world that we are talking about. That means when we learn things and when we change, we need to think, act, and feel differently. That's something which is fundamental to change. Now, that means we need to have a new ideas, a new mind. And when you have a new mind gives you new relationship, very good, healthy relationship, new level of job satisfaction, new experience of peace, and it will also get you new results. So we need to be prepared to change. We need to prepare for a new mind, as mind and success are very well two sides of the coin. They're very well connected. And let's see how. When you control your mind, it's your biggest friend. And when you allow your mind to control you, it becomes your worst enemy. That is the power of mind. There is a very great philosopher in Maharashtra, Sadhguru Vaman Rao Pai. He's written a very nice book called, the name, incidentally, that name is also Shape Your Destiny. He says that change in thoughts only bring about your change in destiny. It's a very well written book. People who would like to read it, you can please read. You know, thoughts are like seeds. If a farmer grows mango seeds, after a couple of years, he'll see mango. And if it's a bitter gold, he'll see bitter gold. So thoughts are which really shapes our life. It's very well said that success catches up with people having absolute control over mind. That means we need to learn the art of regulating our thoughts, which will eventually become a habit. If you are consciously regulating your thoughts, it will become your habit. And this habit will eventually is responsible for the man's destiny. Now, let me ask you a question. All of us are human beings. We have one good brain, good heart, lungs, hands, legs, eyes, nose, ears. Some of us have studied almost more or less academically, are quite par with the others. But when you see, the outcome is very different. There is somebody who would be a porter. पोर्टर यानी कोई कुली है, सबके पास हाथ कान पांव सब है, लेकिन कोई आदमी पोर्टर में एंड करता है लाइफ, कोई जेनेटर होता है, लिफ्टमैन होता है, कोई पेट्रोल मैन होता है, कोई स्टोर कीपर बन जाता है, कोई ऑफिसर बनता है, कोई ब्रोकर बनता है, कोई मैनेजर बनता है. दैट इज हाउ देयर लाइफ इज. अगर हम पूछेंगे उनको कि भाई पोर्टर कुली, तुम कुली क्यों है, तो हिज स्टैंडर्ड रिप्लाई जनरली वुड बी, क्या करेंगे साहब, वी आर बॉर्न पुअर, तबीयत भी ठीक नहीं थी, अस्थमा था, तो फिर तो हम हमाली करेंगे ना, कुली करेंगे ना. इफ यू आस्क अ जेनेटर, जेनेटर यानी जो दरवाजा खोलता है 5 स्टार होटल में और वो क्लीनिंग का और जॉब्स करते हैं, उसको जेनेटर बोलते हैं. तो जेनेटर को बोलेंगे तो बोलेंगे साहब अपना नसीब ही खराब था. राइट. पेट्रोल डालने वाले को हम पूछेंगे पेट्रोल स्टेशन पे, तो बोलेगा साहब मैं पढ़ा लिखा नहीं हूँ, कॉलेज कभी देखा नहीं है, तो फिर ऐसे ही काम करने पड़ेंगे ना. You ask a storekeeper may say that nobody gave me guidance. I had no one to look forward to. You ask an officer, most of the office people, when they don't grow, they always say that my office has a lot of politics. I am smart, I am sharp, I am better, but I am not where I should be because in my office, there is a lot of politics. You ask a manager also, why are you a manager? Why you have not become vice president? His standard reply would be that I didn't get a break. My cousin got a very good break in so-and-so MNC and he's become vice president, but unfortunately, I didn't get a good break. These are the things which we all, I'm sure you all will agree with me. ये ऐसे चीज हम सुनते रहते हैं दिन रात. Now let's see whether how true it is. Now this is a guy, ये फोटो में जो आदमी दिख रहा है, He's a guy, his name is Konoshuki Matsushita. He created National Panasonic. He was a porter. He was of poor health. और वहां से उन्होंने एक छोटा सा घर में बैठ के स्विच बनाने का काम चालू किया. वहां से he created an organization which employs today 270,000 people, and we all know what National Panasonic is. Okay. Let's go to the next guy. Now this guy is a janitor doing odd jobs, darwaza kholo and odd job kind, and today he is the author of a book called Awaken the Giant Within You. Friends, I have been referring books, so if you have a paper pen near you and if you're interested, you may please write down this name. These are really, really nice books. And this guy in his book, he says that he was going in a helicopter and he saw a building downstairs, and he was thinking that who would have thought that few years back I was a janitor in this building. यानी वो बड़ी बिल्डिंग में दरवाजा खोलना बंद करना और जॉब्स कर रहा था वहां पे, वो आदमी आज हेलीकॉप्टर में जा रहा है. अभी हेलीकॉप्टर कुड बी रेंटेड और इज ओन, आइदर वे इट इज अ बिग थिंग. और जब व्हेन ही वेंट टू लॉस एंजलिस वेयर ही वाज गेटिंग डाउन, वहां पे बहुत भीड़ थी. तो उसको लगा ये भीड़ में मैं कैसे पहुंच पाऊंगा, एंड ही वाज नॉट एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड कि भीड़ क्यों है. सो व्हेन द ऑर्गेनाइजर्स केम टू पिक हिम अप, दे टोल्ड हिम कि सर ये भीड़ जो लगी है ना, वो आपको सुनने के लिए लोग आ रहे हैं. They were expecting 2,000 people, so they had booked a hall of 5,000 people, 3,000 people, sorry, 3,000 people, but 5,000 people turned up to listen to him. So a guy who was a janitor, वो आदमी कहाँ से कहाँ निकल गया. He didn't say कि my luck was not bad. Luck was bad. I mean, this photo itself tells everything. You all know, सबको पता है where he was and what he created. He listed the 1977, he changed the history of stock exchange. He went public, and when he died on 6 July 2002, his company was worth $25.6 billion. And he was working on a gas station in Aden. We all know that. And he was not educated. This is another interesting story of Mr. Oberoi. He was from Punjab, and Punjab ke in their village they had a disease of plague in those days, so they had to empty the village and go somewhere. So he went to Shimla. He found a hotel over there which he saw and he liked it, and he said, I want to work here. And then he approaches their MD and he says ki, I want to work here. And he said, what will you do? So he said, I can do anything you tell me. Now that day his secretary had not come, so he said, can you type a letter? He said yes. So he gave him a dictation and to type a letter. Now this man, he typed a letter which was flawless. In those days, typewriter, one error, you have to retype it. Abhi jaisa nahi hai ki delete karo and you continue. And that gentleman, the hotel's name was the Clark, and the owner was a foreigner. So he was very impressed कि first stroke में इन्होंने कितना अच्छा letter type करके दिया. If my secretary would have been there, she would have at least typed 2 to 3 times to get the perfect thing. So he hires him in his stores, and his job was to keep account of charcoal. In those days, somewhere in 1929 or something, electricity was not there in Shimla, and everything was on charcoal. It was cold, so ठंडी से बचने के लिए, ठंड से बचने के लिए, they had to have charcoal to burn. They need for kitchen, they need for laundry, and this guy's job was to in and out charcoal.
Excuse me, Rajan bhai, I think there's slight problem with your internet connectivity. May I request you to kindly switch off your video so that we can clear, the audio is clear.
Guys, stop share.
Yeah, may continue, please. Please unmute Rajan bhai.
Okay, now?
Yeah, please continue, Rajan bhai.
Fine. So this gentleman then got a job over there of, as I said, in the stores, and eventually one day with hard work, he bought over that hotel from that foreigner, and then it's a rest is a history. He had no guidance from anybody. He was from a small village from Punjab, shifted to Shimla, created his own destiny. And today his company, which he owns, is operating 31 luxury hotels, 2 river cruise ship, and is in 6 countries. Oh, one sec, there's some technical hitch. Yeah. You all have heard of Hindustan Lever. This gentleman, Mr. S.M. Datta, he joined at a very junior level as a junior foreman in Hindustan Lever. And after 29 years, he was the chairman of Hindustan Lever. Now just imagine, from a junior foreman as a trainee, from there to chairman, how many levels he has to cross. In 29 years, how many bosses he may have to pass. And nothing stopped him. He didn't find any politics in his office. And today Hindustan Lever employs 18,000 people with a sales of around 35,000 crores. And he was earlier, he was the chairman of Hindustan Levers, coming from a very humble background and no dependency on anybody, and no politics can affect him. This is another gentleman. He was in military, in war, and when he came back, he didn't have any job to do. And he found one company which was on the verge of closing, and that company was making clock punching machines. So this gentleman went to that company and to the board of directors and said that I would like to join this company, and I know it's a loss-making company, but we can give it a try. And he said that give me low salary, but give me margins in the profit. So the board of directors, they thought that any which ways we are not going to lose much because he's asking for low salary. And if we earn only, then we have to give him. What's wrong in experimenting? So that's how they took Thomas Watson to that clockmaking machine factory and gave him the charge to run that. And from that, he converted it into IBM, where their revenue today is 77 billion and they're operating in 170 countries. He didn't depend on any good break. He found the break for himself. Right? This is how this gentleman, all the gentlemen that I spoke about, they have created something in their life without any excuses. Now just pause for a minute and think, what is it common in all these 6, 7 examples or 8 examples we have seen? What is it common in them? ऐसी एक चीज कौन सी है जो चीज उनको यहां तक पहुंचा दिया? कुछ नहीं थे उसमें से कितने बड़े बन गए? Just think over it for a second. What is it, that common element?
May I pause you for a second, Rajan bhai? I'm
Yeah.
getting a request from everybody that Rajan bhai's video if can be switched on again. They want to see you. So if you can just try it again with the video on.
Can we show the video at the end again?
No, your video they want to see. Everybody wants to see
Oh,
your
my video. They want to see my face. Oh. One sec.
Yeah, we can see you now.
Okay. And unfortunately, I can't see you. That's my tragedy. Yeah. Anyway, but I'm happy that you're listening. So I was saying that, pause for a minute and think that what is it that these 6 guys had in them? वो लोग क्या खा रहे थे, क्या सोच रहे थे, क्या चीज था उनमें जिसके वजह से they were nothing and they became so great, so great. And then if you ask me, 1 minute. Yeah. I would summarize this as these gentlemen, they wrote their own destiny, right? They believed that I do not have a choice of birth. Where will I be born? Whether I'll be born in India or America or Australia, I don't know. In Maharashtra or in Gujarat, I don't know. That's not in my hands. But I do have a choice as to how I die. मैं आज गरीब भले हूँ, लेकिन मरूंगा तो कुछ करके मरूंगा, something like that. That is the very strong belief they have within them. So friends, yeah. So now let's see and learn from these gentlemen as to how they wrote their destiny. So I have over a period of time found 6 things which are very, very powerful that these gentlemen they do. And the 6 things are: the first one, they have a very different attitude. They never blame anybody. They make the right choices. They make the right deposits. Their level of initiative is very, very enhanced, and they are continuously, they take feedback, because they say the champions always take good feedback. Now today the time is very short, so I'll be just talking to you about these 3 things, that is B, C, D, and D, that is blame, choices, and withdrawal, which I have found this to be the most powerful element for change. And it has helped me personally a lot, and I've seen many people also it has helped. So let's start with the blame game. Now, all of us, anything going wrong, we always blame others. That's universally accepted truth. But have you ever thought of the second thing? Do you ever credit them for your success? Generally not. If we fail, we blame others. But if we succeed, then we say, I have done it. So this is a very, very powerful element which we need to understand in this blame game, that it's not correct both ways. To blame others for the failure, I'll say also taking the credit for our success alone. Now, when do we blame? If you see, when we get up in the morning till we go to bed in the night, we always blame something or the other. If you just take a pause and rewind, कहीं ना कहीं किसी ना किसी को ब्लेम करते ही रहते हैं. हम सुबह उठते हैं तो अलार्म को ब्लेम करते हैं, बजा नहीं. फिर टूथपेस्ट नहीं मिल रहा है तो किसी को ब्लेम करेंगे, टॉवल नहीं मिला तो ब्लेम करेंगे, ट्रैफिक मिल गया तो ब्लेम करेंगे, टैक्सी ऑटो ड्राइवर्स को ब्लेम करेंगे, टिफिन नहीं मिला तो ब्लेम करेंगे, ऑफिस में ब्लेम करेंगे, कुछ नहीं तो अपने लक को ब्लेम करेंगे, स्पाउस को ब्लेम करेंगे. यू नो, continuously if you see, we are blaming. Who do we blame? We blame our spouse, because maximum time we stay with them. We blame our parents, our children, our colleagues, our neighbors. यहाँ तक कि God को भी हम नहीं छोड़ते, उनको भी हम blame करते. Now, how true is it? This gentleman we saw, उन्होंने किसी को blame नहीं किया था, वो हर एक चीज खुद के ऊपर लेते थे. Now, a very interesting thing which I have learned and which I am sharing with you is that the blame always points a finger at somebody. Right? Now, let's say this is a pointer. You can see me, Anuji?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the blame is pointing towards someone. You can see the arrows on the screen. Now, the art is to learn how to rotate this and bring it towards us. I'll repeat. The normal tendency, कुछ भी गलत हो रहा है, we blame somebody. Right? So the arrow is like this. And we have to master the art of rotating it like this. That means कि कहीं ना कहीं मैं खुद पे blame ले रहा हूँ. Now, first, it's not an easy thing to digest. ये एक बार सुनने से दिमाग में नहीं बैठेगा, मेरे को भी नहीं बैठा था. ऐसे सोचते हैं कि ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है, कुछ भी कहीं गलत होगा तो हमारे पे कैसे ला सकते हैं. तो ये फीलिंग आती है. Even I had that. But then when you realize more and more, you understand more and more, you study on it more and more, then one day you realize कि नहीं यार, ये practical सही चीज है. I have a guru, Mr. Murli Mehta, some of you know them. I used to have a lot of discussion with him. I said, sir, how is this possible? And he used to turn that arrow towards me all the time. Now let's see how it's being done. And when I was explaining this concept to one of our girls in the office, and we were traveling by car, and I was telling her that what I told you just now, same funda मैंने उनको समझाया on blame. You blame दूसरे को नहीं करना चाहिए, you have to blame yourself. And then she said that, sir, now we are going from our one office to the other office and there's a traffic in between. How can we blame ourselves? So I said, I travel on this road every day. I know there is a traffic. I should have provided for adequate time. Now she was little sharper. She said, okay, because this is in Bombay and you know Bombay, so you are saying this. What if you were in Hyderabad? Then I said, if I was in Hyderabad, I know that I'm from Bombay and I don't know Hyderabad. Shouldn't I have asked some Hyderabadi guy known to me that I want to go from destination A to B and I want to provide for adequate traffic time? What time should I leave? So again, that pointer, which was like this, came here. Then one day I was talking to my guru and I was telling him that this staff, one particular staff is not understanding. I have convinced, I have motivated him, I have fired him, I have given him promotions or good benefits also. I have penalized him. Sab cheez try kiya, and he is not sudhrofying at all. How do I blame myself for this? So for me, it was a very obvious thing. I have tried everything in the world I can, and how can I blame myself? And then he just told me one sentence. Who is telling you to work with this donkey? So again, the blame came on me. If I am going to keep a staff who is not going to deliver what is expected, how can I blame the staff? It's my fault of keeping such a people. And the same applies to boss. I'm not talking of staff. Maybe let me give you a reverse example also. That the staff is fed up of the boss and he keeps on saying, "Maine boss ko ye samjhaya, aisa kiya," and boss is not understanding. But then again, who tells you to work for such a boss? So the blame comes on you. At one time, I was discussing with him and I was telling him that when our proposals go to the higher up, somehow they don't get passed all the time. So he said, why are you thinking like that? Why are you not thinking that your proposal is not convincing? Your proposal is not complete in terms of data, and your communication is not okay or up to the mark. So when you see such examples on and off and daily, if you start observing from today, over a period of time, you will realize that nahi, yeah, this point has a merit and it is valid. When I told him one day that some other gentleman was not understanding my point of view. So he said, why are you not thinking that your understanding capabilities are not up to the mark for that person? And he gave me an example of green vegetables. The green vegetable, when you cook, you have to put some soda in that. And in chana, you need very large quantity. So he's saying that you've got a chana with you, in front of you, whom you are trying to take care of, and you have a very little soda for green vegetable. So which is not pakawing that chana at all. Why are you not thinking as yourself? Again, I said, yes, you are true. So these are some of the examples which make me believe over a period of time that yes, there is a merit to the case. Anything going around us, if we deeply think and honestly think over it, there are chances we will be able to find it, bring that arrow, back to us. You can do this exercise at home, at your office, with some people. When you are expressing something, try to rotate. A lot of people have come back and told me, sir, after that we tried and yes, I could able to turn around and take the blame on myself. And what happens is, the beauty of this is, the guy who's not blaming anybody is so peaceful, and the guy who's blaming everybody is pathetic. He's always frustrated. Because see, the frustration always comes when you're blaming somebody. Frustration never comes when you're blaming yourself. Just to give you an example, agar today morning my tiffin is not ready, then I'm frustrated on my family that my tiffin was not ready. Now same thing, if the tiffin is ready, but while leaving in hurry, I forgot to take the tiffin with me, I have no frustration. Then my thought process goes like this: okay, since long I haven't had food in canteen, I'll have with friends in canteen. It's a very normal thought process. And the same thing if it is somebody else and I'm blaming somebody else, yeah, the frustration level is very, very different. So just observe this point. And I would like you to see this small clipping video here. And then I'll come back. So let's take a pause here. So much to learn from small video. He doesn't have anything, no hands, no legs. And see the kind of miracle that he's been doing, including swimming, skydiving. He's a motivational speaker now. He's not blamed anybody. He just found solution because he's not blaming. So everything his mind works on solution. So he's playing drums also. So the message that what I would like to convey is that it's not easy to understand this. You may find it that it's not practical, not possible, but I assure you it is practical, it is possible. You need to do little more thinking, little more research on this, and go through some right kind of books and TED Talk kind of talks. And you'll one day realize that yes, if we don't blame, it makes our life very, very peaceful. There will not be any frustration, and you'll be a very, very happy personality. So the next topic I would like to go is on choices. Now, someone has very rightly said, success is directly proportionate to the choices that one makes in life. And let's see how true it is. So at every point of time, we are always at a crossroad. ये जो बंदा खड़ा है 4 5 6 रोड जा रहे हैं, it is he has to pick up one road and each road will lead to a different place. It's a very common thing. We all in India, we have 4 rasta, 5 rasta, 7 rasta, and when you are at that junction, you will find 4 5 directions, 7 directions, and the road that you take will take you to the different destinations. So the selection of the choices that we make in life becomes very, very critical for us. Now let's see it by example. Now, if I have to get married, I'm already married. If somebody, let me say, because my wife must be listening. So if somebody wants to get married, he has multiple choices. Either he will like to have a very fashionable wife. He would like to have a very rich wife. He may want to have a wife from maybe village. Somebody may want a very educated wife. Somebody wants a corporate kind of wife. Somebody wants a sanskari wife. Now, all these different options available to him, and what he chooses is going to be the destiny. Somebody may want a very beautiful wife. There are many people, they feel that that is a prerequisite. Nothing else matters, but yes, she should be beautiful. So these are multiple choices that he has in life. Now, what is going to happen if you have a family and you have a father, mother, and you want your spouse to take care of your father, mother, and if you are going to select some very rich girl or a corporate girl, and then you expect her to also take care of your father, mother, obviously there will be some compromises here and there. If you feel that you want a beautiful wife, and when you will get a beautiful wife, of course, it will also have its downside, because whenever you go on tour, you're always worried that neighbor guy comes and sits and talks to her quite often. So you're always worried when you're on tour. That's another destiny. You have an educated wife, so she'll be more cultured, and your children will also be a cultured kind of thing. So every route that you take will have a different outcome. So choices makes a big impact. Let's talk about books. You have a choice of reading management books. You have a choice of reading health books. You have a choice of reading mythological books. You have a choice of reading fictional books. And you have a choice of reading those bad books which are available on some bus stops and railway stations and all. Right? All this will take you to a different destination. You may get spiritual books also. So if you want to do something on spiritual side, you need to be spiritual side. But if you are going to read management and your inclination is spiritual, it doesn't match. If you are a health freak and you are reading some other kind of a book, it doesn't help. So again, the choice makes a big difference. All of us, we read a lot of things. I am just requesting you to just see that does your reading today, we all read, obviously it's to some degrees low or some degree high, but we all of us read in some form or the other. Is our reading in tune, in alignment with our goals in life? Many times there's a big mismatch. I've seen people wanting to be big in business, but they continuously read fiction books. Now, fiction books is not going to take you anywhere. It's okay once in a while for relaxation, it's fine. But you can't read all the time fiction books and expect a management, success in management. You need to read management books. Same is the case with friends. Friends play a very, very critical role. You have some dream in life, your dream is refined, you want to be 1, 2, 3, 4. And if your friends are not tuned to that, it will drag you in the other direction, and that will add to your frustration. You want to excel in a field, let's say sports. You want to excel your professional career in sports, right? And your friends are all who eat out every day, who drink every day, they gamble every day. If that is the kind, you are never going to make, and then there will be a frustration that I wanted to be a champion in this, but I could not. So friends play an important role. I have given you one example, but this you can extrapolate in other fields also. See that your life goals matches with the friends that you have. Take case of career. Options are many for everyone. You can be a doctor, you can be an engineer, you can be in sales, you can be in purchase, you can be, n number of options are available as far as career is concerned. But if you are a very happy-go-lucky type, and if somebody calls you for emergency at 2 o'clock, which doesn't suit your temperament, and you are becoming a doctor, so you are heading for trouble. Because every night or every alternate night, somebody is going to call you up at night for emergency. Right? So whether, for example, you want to be in marketing and you are in marketing all India or international, but you don't like traveling. So be choosy in your career. What are your life goals? See that it matches with the career that you're making. Let's talk of food. Same thing, multiple options of food. And if it is not in tune, for example, if you are a sports or you are a health freak, obviously you can't have everyday vada pavs and pav bhajis of the world. So see that you make the right choices of food that suits and matches with your ultimate goal of life, in life. Even for that matter, money. Even for that matter, money. Where do you spend your money? What is the end goal you have? Many times people I've seen, they have their end goal is, when I want to retire, I want to retire peacefully. I want to retire peacefully. And I should have sufficient balance. That's a mental state of mind. Peace of mind hona chahiye when I retire. But then he takes such large houses, large cars. He's always under a burden of EMIs that he's never going to reach there. If you want to have a peaceful life and have a sufficient balance, you need to start saving from day one. Now there's a big mismatch. If you have ambition in your life, and if your spending of money doesn't go in that direction, it doesn't help. If you are career minded, if you are management minded, and if you are not investing your money in books, in training programs, so your money is going in a wrong direction. You may spend a lot of money on branded stuff, which looks nice, but does it match with your life goal? Most of the time not, and that builds up to the frustration. Even choice of words. Multiple, when you say words, multiple options are there. How do I communicate? Now the choice of words also makes an impact on your destiny. If you're rude, you are insulting, if that is the choice of words, your outcome will be different. If you are more persuasive, you are convincing, it's different. It makes a big difference. Time, another element. That's the biggest element. Where do I spend my time? If I am a sports freak, and I'm spending my time in traveling a lot, there's a mismatch. If I'm a sports freak, then my time should go in morning exercises. If I'm a singer, my time should go in the morning, early morning for riyaz, for practicing singing. Time is, if you see where you spend most of your time, and just check out, does it match with your ultimate goal? We want to grow big in life. We want to become a big name we want to get in my company.
It's 5 o'clock.
In my company or wherever field which I'm in. But does it match with the time that I spend? Particularly Sundays, you should observe Sundays. How do I spend my Sunday? Okay, just note it down. Last 3-4 Sundays, if you remember, just note it down and just track. Does it match with my life goals? Many times there's a big mismatch. That I never realized this. The Sunday I spend, my dream is this, but I'm not doing that. I want to be champion in sports, but I'm not playing on Sunday. Or I want to be great in management, but I'm not devoting any time on anything on management. Even thoughts. Thoughts also, every point of time, you have multiple choices of thoughts that can come to your mind. Let's say you're waiting at an airport or a railway station or a bus station and your time still half an hour. What are the thoughts that you pick up during that time, in that spare time? Do you think something which you desire the most, which is your dream? Or we are thinking something different, which is nothing to do with where I want to be tomorrow? Thoughts is something which, as I said earlier also, that thought has a direct connection with mind and mind has direct connection with success. And we saw it earlier, that it's only the thoughts, when you change that, your destiny changes. So I want you to please think over the thoughts again and again and again. Maybe after the session, tomorrow, whenever you have time, just think over it. Am I thinking, is my thinking aligned with my dreams? Now, once somebody masters this art of making choices, this frustration level will go down tremendously. Because his thinking, feeling, acting, and his choices are all in one direction, which he wants to see that dream tomorrow. And when that is aligned, there is never a frustration. You are always happy. Even if there is a pain, you are happy with that. Even if you get less time to sleep, you may sleep maybe 6 hours, but you have to get up and go early. It's always fun to go because you are moving towards your dream. So thoughts are something which is very, very powerful. Regulate your thoughts. Always see to it that your most of the time of your thinking, in your spare thinking time, goes into what you dream to do, right? Okay, so please do this exercise. You can write down these names and just see, you can have a column. Presently I'm reading these books, presently I have these friends, presently this food I am eating, this is the money that I'm spending, this is the time that I'm utilizing my time, and these are the thoughts that generally consume my space. And then you say that what I need to do to align with my dream. And then you just write it down that, okay, I was reading this books, but now I'm going to change to read to this book. I'm going, this I have friends, these are my friends. I'm going to keep them friends. I'm not saying don't have them as friends, but my majority of the time should go with friends who matter with my dreams, even for food, money. And I think do that, it should definitely, it would help you. So let me now go to the third part, which is again a very, 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 very interesting. Personally, I found it very, very useful. Have you, see, everybody has different opinions. I just want you to think over, why does, there is one guy called Mr. Arjun. Let's call him Mr. Arjun. Why does Smith, a guy, likes Arjun very much. And why does Mike dislikes Arjun at all? He just dislikes, he hates him. Arjun is same, right? A blue color is a blue color. Arjun is Arjun. Why is it that Arjun is liked by one guy and disliked by another? Just think over it. Why does it happen? If you see within your friend circle, within your family office, you'll find such elements that, yeah, I like him, he doesn't like him. It's a common thing. Yesterday that guy was good and today he's bad. Or today he's bad. I mean, yesterday he was bad, but today he's good. This also happens. If you try to recollect, you will find, definitely find some example in your life कि ये friend के साथ पहले मेरा बहुत जमता था, अभी मेरा नहीं जम रहा है. या पहले नहीं जम रहा था, लेकिन अभी जम रहा है. It happens. It could be friends, it can be family, anybody. That yesterday was good and today is bad. I'll give you a small, another, I would call it puzzles. So Arjun was one puzzle and yesterday was good, today was the second one and the third one. One large group went to a restaurant. It was not a restaurant exactly, it was a dhaba on a hill station. And they reached there at around 3 o'clock where that dhaba or restaurant was closed. So one friend went over there and he inquired and he said that we are 25 of us and we need food. And that guy said that dhaba is closed. So he requested them in his way and they said no, nothing. And he came back. Then the second friend went at the same place. He did something over there and came back and he said we'll have to wait for 15-20 minutes, but all of us will get food. So what is it that would have happened between these two? Just think over it. I'll come back to that. Boss, if somebody wants a leave, boss will give him for 5 days. And there's another gentleman, he goes for 3 days, boss will not give him. If somebody wants money, advance 50,000 rupees, boss will give him. Somebody is asking for 20,000 rupees, boss will not give him. Why does this happen? Just think. I'll come back to that. Even managers also. Assignments are given to one person, the other person is not given. So both are competent, both are equally qualified. Why does that happen? Both have equal experience. Even if you see parents, many times you will find that children would like one parent and may not like the other parent. मम्मी अच्छी लगती है, पापा अच्छे नहीं लगते, या पापा अच्छे लगते हैं, मम्मी अच्छी नहीं लगती है. Why does this happen? And if there are two children, they have different opinion. Parents तो same ही है, so how can there be two different opinions? Children also. So if there is something, some work to be done, parent would tell one guy, you go to bank and withdraw money and come back, and to the other guy, he may not. So all these examples are falling in the same category. I'm trying to just make you think, why does this happen? Today you like a person and then you don't like, the other guy doesn't like it. Today you like, tomorrow you don't like. All these things, why does this happen? So let me get into it. See what happens when you go to a bank. You deposit money, you withdraw money. You deposit money, you withdraw money. And that continuous deposit, withdrawal is happening, and then there is a balance. And the balance is there when you go to a bank with a bearer check. And let's say your balance is 10,000 rupees. And you go to a bank and you say that, okay, I want 5,000 rupees. So you're getting that, 5,000. But if you ask for 15,000, you don't get that. Because your withdrawals are higher than your deposits if he gives you. Now, same way, the way bank works on withdrawal and deposits, our mind is also a bank. In every mind, there is a bank here. It's a T, debit and credit, right? So what happens is, with every interaction between people, continuous deposits and withdrawal are happening. Now, let me give an example. So if I walk in my factory, I find a person and I say, let's say he wishes me good morning, and I ignore him and walk past. And he knows that I have heard him say good morning. Immediately there will be a minus 500. And let's take the other example. If I say good morning Tukaram, immediately there will be 500 plus. And if it is with a smile and with eye contact, it may be 700. And then if I put my hand on Tukaram's shoulder and I walk with him, it will be maybe 1200. And if I ask him, your mother was not well, how is your mother now? So it will be 2000 plus, because sir remembered about my mother also. So this is the kind of minus plus things are happening in every interaction within the family, with husband, wife, with children, family, with friends, with office, senior, junior. Continuously it's happening. Now, based on the outcome, the kind of results that we get. So this is the kind of ledger account we have in bank. And in Mind, there is an account here. Now today, probably 200 people are listening, out of which maybe 100 are known to me. So they already have Rajan Shah's account. Other 100 are not knowing me. So there's a new account open in that account. Okay, if you would have met personally, their account also would have been opened here. But since I can't see them, so it is a one-way thing. So they have a Rajan Shah account. Now, if they like what I'm talking, there will be a deposit in my account. And if they didn't like it, there'll be a negative. This happens on a continuous basis. If the account opens in two minds the first time they meet, the moment you are introduced by someone, immediately account opens and all the behavior, communication, verbal, non-verbal will start taking deposits and withdrawal, right? So there is an emotional bank account which we all are not aware of. वो यहाँ mind पे है ऐसा plus, continuous जा रहा है plus minus. जहाँ minus है, things are not working. Now let me take you back to the examples of a restaurant. Now what happened in the restaurant? This guy went and he asked, and in a very, in a very authoritative way, that khana milega, and that guy said no. The second gentleman who went over there, he first went over there and he said that, will I get a glass of water? So they gave him. Then he said, can I get some nimbu pani? So that guy said, हाँ मिल जाएगा. Then he said, 4-5 bano, we are more people. हो जाएगा. Then he connected with them. And then that dhaba wala, this guy said that, भैया जी ये आपको कैसे समझ में आता है कि कितने जन का खाना पकाने का? अभी 3 बजे लोग आके आपको बोलेंगे तो आप कैसा पकाओगे? तो how do you plan your things? So that is the guy where there was a major plus. This guy understands my pain of my business. Then he said, हाँ साहब हम वही problem है. कभी 50 जन आते हैं, कभी 30-200 जन आ जाते हैं, हमको तो समझ में नहीं आता है खाना कैसा बनाने का. And then he said कि that group that is standing, they had also come. I told them no. Okay, but by that time, when he asked for water, when he asked for nimbu pani, then he asked him about his business, there was some small plus happening. And then at one point, this guy asked, there are 5 children, can you just give some food to the children? Either dal roti or dal sabji. तो क्या होगा, एटलीस्ट बच्चे लोग खा लेंगे. हम लोग तो we'll go after it take 2 hours to reach to the city, we can have it after 2 hours, but at least can you give to the children? And then that guy said, can you wait for 15-20 minutes? I will see that all of you get it. So this is the power of deposit and withdrawal. Same thing is happening with bosses, managers, parents and children. Some subordinates have worked exceedingly well. They have gone beyond the call of their duties, and that is why they get that loan, leave, whatever they want, they get it. The other guy who's not so good, his withdrawals are much higher, right? So the power is so great that you can apply this at home also. Wherever there is a strain in relationship, or you have a very good relationship but you want to improve your relationship, just look out for the deposit and withdrawal. I have personally experienced this, and I was saying someone that no, I have never withdrawn. Then he gave me 2 days. He said 2 days, think over it and then you come back. Then when I started thinking, I realized that I have done withdrawals. Wherever you don't have good relations with anybody, whether in office, with your boss, with your colleague, with your junior, with your spouse, with your brothers. Don't we see that my 3 brothers are very, very good and friendly. They're as good as friends. They go out together, everything. And suddenly one day, everything falls apart. It's this deposit and withdrawal. Slowly, unknowingly, knowingly, we keep on withdrawing, and one day the glass cracks. So think over this and work towards it. Write down some names in your office and some names at your home where you want to strengthen your relationship. Think about what are the withdrawals that you are doing in the past. First thing is stop withdrawals. Second thing is maybe you can see how you can deposit, and the deposit has to be genuine, not a superficial verbal. It has to come from the heart. So do that and you will see the change in your relationship happening all across. And you will find people responding to you much better than what they were responding earlier, because you are depositing good everywhere and there is no withdrawal, right? Now, so let me give you some example. Now these are debit side. So when you ignore somebody, when you are rude to someone, when you shout at someone, when you humiliate someone, when you insult someone, when you criticize someone, you get into the debit thing. And when you notice that person, when you are polite to him, when you greet him, you help him, you are loyal, you appreciate, it gives you all the pluses, deposits. That doesn't mean that you don't have to scold someone or so. It's a question of how you do it. I can stress my point without being rude, without insulting, without humiliating. I can still do that in a very polite manner. So if I do it politely and I tell him that this is for your good, I'm telling you, it will get credit mark. Otherwise, you get a debit mark. We may get some results when we fire children in a very harsh manner. We shout at them or we slap them, or a subordinate, we do that. We'll find some change, but that is momentarily, temporarily. It's not long term. They do it because they are scared of you, so they do it. But behind you, they will never do it. So the better funda is this: get the credit and do it, and try to see that you increase your loyalty, appreciate, and everything. And it's your emotional balance, account balance, will determine the kind of response you get from people, which I spoke. It works both at home also and at office also. So in nutshell, friends, we have this ABCD. We spoke about B, C, and D today. That is blame game, choices, and deposit. Before I come to an end, I just want to throw some light on this. We all listen to so many webinars. We all like them so much. But at the end, what matters is how much is implemented. And there is some research which was done on the success rate of implementation. On the research, they studied about 86,000 participants. 30% of the trainees had done absolutely nothing. If you want to change and you want to have a better realization of your dreams and want to create your own destiny, like the example that we saw, please ensure that you are not in this 30% of not doing anything. Because if sabji same rahegi, to you're going to get the same results. And there is an enormous disconnect between understanding and doing. Lot of time we all say that बहुत मजा आया, बहुत अच्छा था, समझ में आया, perfect था, you know. But how many people are doing? There's that Shivani Ben, she is very famous, she speaks so well. We all listen to her and we feel very nice about it. उन्होंने anger management पे कितना अच्छा समझाया. But कितने जन implement कर रहे हैं? That's a big disconnect. They fail to implement the change because they were simply too busy. जब तक सेमिनार था 2 घंटे का, 1 घंटे का, बैठे सुना, बहुत अच्छा लगा, but the moment it got over, back to our work. Again, you are not going to get any results. And particularly for those who are working and they have dreams, believe me, what got you here won't get you there. There's a very nice book by Marshall Goldsmith, and it talks about this. We have to change the skill sets. जो कल थे हमारे skill set उसको change नहीं करेंगे, change नहीं होंगे हम, so we are not going to go there, and that will add to a frustration. So what next? We have to continuously think whatever you have learned today and you have learned in the previous 8 seminars, what Anuj said, please continuously think over it, plan it, act, and also have a review mechanism within your team that, okay, you review every month or so. To conclude, friends, the journey of 1,000 miles must begin with a single step. Don't think too big. Chota steps leke start karo and you'll reach somewhere. As someone has said, that God is not the sole author of our destiny. God is not the sole author of our destiny. We are also the co-author of our destiny. सब ऊपर वाले के हाथ में नहीं है, हमारे हाथ में भी है. We are co-author. If we do our best, God will definitely do the rest. Right? Now let me close by saying a small story. You can see this Guruji sitting there and the Chela is standing over there. Now Chela is very frustrated with Guruji because Chela always goes wrong in his answers and Guruji is always right. So he's little frustrated. Har ek time Guruji mere ko wrong hi gira dete. So one day what he did, he took a small bird which was alive and he took it in his hand like this and he goes to Guruji and he's saying, Guruji, ye bird zinda hai ya mar gaya? Now he thought Guruji will say zinda hai, तो मैं दबा के मार दूंगा and I'll show कि नहीं मरा हुआ है. And if he says कि मरा हुआ है, then I'll show him कि जिंदा है. So in either ways, I'm going to win. And the same question he asked Guruji, and Guruji's reply was कि बेटे बर्ड जिंदा है या मरा है वो आपके हाथ में है. It depends on you. So friends, I'll close my session here for an open for question answer. That the answer lies in your hands, whether this thoughts in the form of the bird, that story I said, whether is alive or is dead, things are in your hands, friend. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rajan bhai.
Anuji, can you take over, please?
Yeah, thank you, Rajan bhai. It was a wonderful session. Could you please unshare your screen, please?
Yeah. Yeah, done.
So Rajan bhai, it was definitely a wonderful session, and I think everybody liked it. So we'll start up with the question answer session over here. So the first question I'll take in from Mr. Ajay Sareen. I'll just open up the chat for a second. Give me a second, please. Yeah. Mr. Shah, to whom we should blame in company when everything is not going well, in current situations especially, ourselves or employees or market demands or government?
I think it is a situation which has come up. I don't see a need to blame anybody. Okay, something unforeseen has happened, which has happened universally, it has happened globally, and there is nobody can do anything about it. So I don't think would blame anybody. Fine, it has happened. Now what? My focus should be on now what? As Ranaji said, it's a matter of survival. So you have to think, okay, how do we survive in this? How best in the given circumstances I can do? I don't think blaming anybody helps here.
No, probably the question was against what you said, that blame game, the arrow should be facing outwards or inwards. So probably the question is relevant to that.
But that arrow needs to be changed if I am blaming someone. And I'm saying this is a situation which has come up where there is no blame on anybody. Okay, it has come up. Nobody knows why it has come up. In China, whether they were experimenting or they were not experimenting, we don't know. So at times in life, there are situations which comes up, and every situation we don't have to link it with blaming anyone. We can just leave it at that. Fine. आज बारिश आ गई, flood आ गई, तो we can't blame anyone. Okay, आ गई, तो अभी how do we save?
Very true. Very true.
Yeah.
So next question I'll take in of Mr. Ashwin Dange. His question is, what role does spirituality play in shaping one's mindset and one's destiny?
In one, come again, please.
What role does spirituality play in shaping one's mindset and one's destiny?
I think it plays tremendous role provided the path is right, because in spirituality also there are probably 10 or 20 sects. So if you select the right kind, it has tremendous impact. I have been associated with 3 large organizations, and on and off, whenever I get time, I listen to their YouTube, I go to their concourse, and I have found it personally to be very, very useful. It gives you a lot of peace of mind. It gives you clarity. It reduces your frustration. So
And I think
spirituality does help. Yeah.
and this hour of the time of the year when we are passing through such difficult times, I think spirituality should be one thing which you can definitely learn more about.
Yes.
The second part of the question is top 5 book recommendations. That's a question which almost everybody puts up to you. Autobiography or self-help. So top 5 recommendations.
See, I would say both. I like autobiography because there is a lot of learning, and that is much more believable because that is what has happened. So all these examples which I gave you are the autobiographies which I have read. So autobiography is first preference, but there are good books also. For example, if you want to build an organization which will last, there is a very nice book called Build to Last. If you want your professional career to improve, there is a book which most of us we know, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And there is another book called Good to Great. I think it's Tom Collins, which is also a very nice book.
Yeah.
So probably what we can do is, if there are too many requests, I can give a list to IFP and those guys can collect it from IFP Secretariat.
Another book which we were talking about that day, if you can just name that book also, Failures of 5 Most Effective People. Yeah.
There's another very nice book where you learn from failure. So they're saying 7 self-destructive habits of highly successful companies. So that covers, like, it's a research of companies which are very successful, like Enron and Motorola and Nokia, and there are many successful stories, and they have gone bad. What is it, the 7 things that they have not done right? And that book is by Dr. Jagdish Sheth, and then the one foreign guy. 2 people have co-authored it.
Okay, so next question I'll take in from Mr. Shashikant Dunga. It's got slightly personal touch with it, but still I'll ask him the question. Wanted the pointer turned towards me, but how can I change my choice at this age with life partner, career, friends, extra?
I think it's all going forward. That is what you can change, and thoughts definitely can change today also. So though I may be 75 years old, but I can still change my thoughts towards my wife, towards my children, towards the society. So I think thoughts and time, time you can give more time to your people around you who matter to you. So there are few things you can change.
Certain things you have to accept as it is.
Yeah.
So next question I'll take in from Mr. Jude Montario. So kindly give me your advice how to remain consistent during process of change and not deviate or get distracted.
I think what matters is, getting reinforced it. And one of the way to do is remind yourself of the things that you would like to implement, or what you have learned or you have liked. Share it with as many people as you can, because the more you share, the more it gets deep rooted. So sharing is also very critical for the success of change. And you have to remind yourself. So you have to see that it is there on your mobile screen, on your iPad screen, at your home, in your office, which reminds you again and again. And that gives a reinforcement.
Okay, now may I think I will end up with the question session because time up is going on. I'll just take probably one question. Okay, that's from Mr. Amit Pathak. What does one do to, if not able to decide what to do? Any specific way or pattern to decide?
See, if it is at that crossroad, I think people in such situation, we all come across. So what you are saying is nothing new. Everybody comes across at some point of time. If not totally in life, at least in some part of life, it does happen. You need to have a mentor whom you trust fully. And that what you need to do, what your mentor tells you to do. It could be some senior person around you. Yeah, and maybe you can ask, if you don't have, you can ask people around you. And there are such beautiful, wonderful people available who can guide you as to in every situation what should be done. And we do. I personally do have such people around me, and as overall I have one, and then specialized also I have people whom I talk to. There you can call them coach also. There is a coaching federation of global coaching federation. It's a CFI or something. You can go through that. They are all ex-retired multinational people. They have retired, but they want to help people. So earning is not their motive. Their motive is to help people, and you can pick up your choice from there. And if you have more specific, you can write to Secretariat, and Secretariat can definitely recommend you some good coach or a mentor.
Wonderful, Rajan bhai. I'll take in probably one or two live questions. May I request to switch on the mic and audio video for Mr. Rajiv Jalnapurkar to have in a question, please? AV of Mr. Rajiv Jalnapurkar, please.
Anuj, my video is closed, switched off.
No issue, sir. You can ask him a question.
No, there is no, there's no question, but, I really appreciate at this time, we were only thinking about kind of a work, what we are involved, but Rajan bhai gave us a different, perspective. We should able to think about it. And this is very important. I always look forward to listen to him. And today we got an opportunity to listen to him. Thank you very much, Rajan bhai.
My pleasure, Rajiv ji. And that's why consciously I kept Corona and COVID and everything out of this, because
Yes.
everybody we are having overdose of that.
I agree. And it was a good session, sir. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So I'll take the next question again from Mr. Rajiv, but it's Mr. Rajiv Kaul this time. Audio video, Mr. Rajiv Kaul, please. Sorry, Mr. Rajiv, we're not able to hear you clearly. Sorry, Mr. Rajiv, we're not able to hear you clearly.
In our business.
Mr. Rajiv, can you repeat? We can't hear you.
Mr. Rajiv, we can't hear you. Can you just chat in, put in a question in the chat box, please? I'll read it out for you. Sorry, we're not able to hear Mr. Rajiv. So I'll just requested him in case he can put in his question to the chat box. In the meantime, I request Mr. Pradeep Sharma to be unmuted for a question. Audio video, Pradeep Sharma, please.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Pradeep ji. Please continue.
Rajan bhai, I've been looking forward for this session for a long time, and every day I was counting, and thankfully it was today. And let me tell you, under the circumstances our industry is going, it was very well needed, and very motivational, very inspiring, and a lot of takeaway. I have no question, but I really appreciating your efforts. It's a super job. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you so
And
much. Thank you.
I've learned a lot. Thank you.
Thank you.
With that, I'd like to thank Rajan Bhai. On behalf of IIP, I'd like to thank Mr. Rajan Bhai for sharing such insightful and profound knowledge, and hope that the guests have taken away handy and proficient information and would take full advantage from the efforts taken by speaker in compiling and sharing the best practices. Sincere gratitude to you, Rajan Bhai. Thank you once again. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
Uh,
Anuj. Thank you, IIP.
Now, may I request to upload the feedback form, please? May I request all the guests to kindly fill in the feedback form? We have been, putting up a lot many efforts in selecting subjects, the speakers, the content of the speaker, and then sharing it with you. So your feedback is something which is very relevant and important to us. I hope you would have filled up the form. So up next, friends, we have a session on 28th of May. The session will be on electrical safety. I would request everybody to join in on 28th May. You all must be getting in the links in time. Kindly register at the earliest. And I would like to thank you all once again. And I wish to extend my sincere gratitude to all the guests in today's webinar. It is solely because of your interest and participation in large numbers that IIP webinars have become a useful platform where ideas, knowledge, and experience can be exchanged. I would humbly request you all to contact me or the IIP team for clarification, doubts regarding the content of the webinar or the format and the rules of the suggestions. Once again, thank you for joining us, and we shall hopefully see you all soon for the next session. Till then, stay safe. Have a good day. Please go to the YouTube link and do like, subscribe, and share the link so that the benefit is passed on to the maximum number.
Anuj, you would like to announce for that 1st June?
We'll do it in the next session. Sir.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks a lot. Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah.